Hey, Brian,
Hi.
do you remember the episode where they have the uh mentally simple aliens?
Oh wait.
See,
Uh.
they're less evolved. They're
Um.
little
Okay, all right. You know what? We're gonna time out here. We're gonna call it audible. Shift this, and then we're just gonna say, "Hey Brian, you remember that really ableist episode of Star Trek?"
Oh. Yeah.
Which one?
That.
Proximity alert. Vessel approaching. The vessel is hailing.
Space.
Warning. Warp core collapse in 10 seconds.
Yeah. You mean that one we watched? That's they're just really into like simple aliens. They got a speech pattern that is that's a little problematic. They're like trying to say that they've got some sort of like
It's uncomfortable.
it's super uncomfortable, yeah, and that's I don't know if you're getting that, faithful listeners, but that episode was a little uncomfortable.
If you remember, like the second episode.
Oh yeah, this is their apology for Code of Honor. They're like, okay, let's do an offensive episode,
this is
but not that offensive.
this is the ableist equivalent of fucking whatever honor.
Code of Honor.
Code of Honor. Yeah, Code of Honor. This is like the ableist equivalent because it's like, so like in that one they were like, oh, these backwards, planet of black people, how dare they have teleporters that we don't comprehend, or a force field that we can't scan, but they're so backwards, right? In this one it's just like, how can these simple folk manage to have a ship that flies? And it's like, well, they don't deserve it because they're not smart enough, they're not evolved far enough to like get this. And it's like,
I bet they stole that. I bet those simple people stole that car. Spaceship.
So true, William Riker, you sick fuck. Yeah,
just
not the best.
Do you think Riker was more upset that like Geordi was like held hostage, or because Geordi was held hostage, or do you think that he was more upset that like he was losing to people who were like not neurotypical in the sense that the Federation would respect? Like, what do you think he was more upset about?
Do you think that off screen William Riker called these
do you remember
unevolved, or maybe used a certain word like degeneracy or something like that to describe these people?
They had space travel and then they degenerated through
through
do you remember? So you remember when we were watching House and the fucking Aussie, I can't think of his name right now.
Fuckwit McGillicuddy.
Yeah, whatever. Him and like his just like unresolved and unrepentant fat phobia. Yeah, that's Riker.
That's Riker right now, for sure.
Yeah, Riker is all about that.
I don't have any House references in my notes, but I do have the what the fuck's that called? I don't remember what it's called. It's called The Good Doctor, about the surgeon with autism. I've got well, hey, we'll get to that.
You know he's autistic. It allows him to be an asshole to everybody.
I am a surgeon.
Yeah, dog. You also
I
just are the most disrespectful motherfucker on the planet.
am
like,
a
Yeah,
sergeant.
are we gonna do the special trans episode on that? We're just gonna sit around and watch that.
Oh, that
that's
sounds
great.
There's a
horrifying.
trans
it's
episode
awful.
of
yeah.
Good Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh
Yep.
my fucking god.
Yep. There's
Mhm.
it's like him just like, well, I don't understand biologically, and I'm just like, oh god, no.
Well, hey, I'm glad that they're giving House a little. They're doing House's backstory. That's pretty cool. Well,
God damn it.
hey, it's Left Track. Hey,
Oh, hi.
welcome to Left Track. I'm Eric. I'm just a simple guy. I'm just real simple. I'm out there in space doing some real simple stuff. Aha! I just stole your gardener. Brian.
Partner. Oh no. Hi. I'm a doctor who is really trying her best to be discreet, despite everything needing to happen.
Despite
That was
blocking
terrible.
everything.
That was a terrible character for me to describe. Can I try that again?
Yeah.
Are you on a second? Okay, all right. Hey,
Yeah.
cat,
Okay.
cut. All right.
And
Okay. Go. We're live.
I'm a captain who's so worried about his self-image that he won't let himself get surgery because it'll make him look weak.
What a manosphere politics.
Bad. This episode is so bad.
Now that we're unpacking this episode, my opinion
hold
of it
on,
is
hold on.
decreasing. And we're also, of course, as always, joined by Zods.
Hey everyone, I'm Zots. I'm just an engineer who's been kidnapped and is just having a good time with some good people. I'm
Hanging
just-
out with some
I'm
simple
just
folk.
just digging it until they zap my balls repeatedly.
Oh, oopsies.
Well, hey everyone, it's the Samaritan Snare, season 2, episode I don't know, 15.
Is that the name
16?
of this episode?
Yes, it's called the
literally
Samaritan
called Samaritan Snare.
Yeah.
Oh fuck me!
Yep,
Get out of here! Shut the fuck up!
Well, the episode starts perfectly innocuous, and me, not reading the name of the episode, I didn't know. I didn't remember exactly which one this one was. Oh wait, no, I did remember. Wesley has to test. Apparently, for Starfleet Academy, you have to test to get the credits that you've earned. Fucking PT college bullshit, even in fucking Star Trek future.
Inescapable.
Picard is pissed. He's like he has some sort of surgery he needs to do, and plus he's like, hey, I can take care of it for you, but hey, fuck that. He's gonna feel weak in front of his crew if he undergoes a medical procedure in front of this apparently extremely highly qualified doctor, but she's a woman, so Picard can't at any point be under the influence of a woman. You see, there's a Danganronpa character that's exactly the other side of this, but
But it wouldn't be
the only one that gets. I'm gonna be the only one that gets that reference.
Yeah, that's true.
hey, can you give a
also-
Danganronpa reference down off in the comments? Are you a fan of Mikan? Well, I don't remember her fucking name.
All I know is that it wouldn't be proper.
It wouldn't be proper.
This whole episode, like if that is Picard, if that is like truly like how Picard feels, that ruins every way that they've portrayed him so
it
far.
ruins the last episode. Like the last episode, it's just textually like, oh, hey, Picard, looks like you don't really have that much of an ego. That's why you didn't you'd rather die. That's why you didn't rather die than ask Q for help. And then this one, he's like, oh no, he'd rather die than even that give the impression that he has biologically failed in some way, even though the way that this happened is like the most fucking badass thing in the entire fucking world. I forgot this is the episode that we get a description for this, but it's fucking hilarious. But hey, look at that. Ensign Sonia's here. She starts making fun of Wesley by informing him how to be a human being. It's great. We'll never see her again until Lower Decks season 3, I think. Geordi is like, hey Picard, nice day for a trip, and Picard just stonewalls him. Picard needs to go on to the same shuttle that Wesley Crusher's going to go on to, and they're gonna have a long shuttle trip over to some fucking star base, I guess. And then they depart together. Wesley's like, oh my god, I have to talk to Picard, this man then I idolize so much. Oh, what do we even have in common? Oh, he killed my dad. We can talk about that. Okay, cool. All right. I have one discussion topic.
Perfect.
They suddenly get a distress call right after wondering what the fuck's going on with Picard, and they just gotta go. They gotta leave him away. Now, considering they established that shuttlecraft can't go warp speed, what is going on here? So why do they launch a shuttlecraft anywhere outside of like the orbit of the fucking planet? Because we know they can get there at any point many thousands of times faster than the fucking speed of light. Why weren't they already there? What would possibly, like, if you're like in orbit and then you're going down to the planet, okay, yeah, shuttlecraft. You're in orbit and you're going to like a space station, you know, assuming you're not just using the fucking transporter. Okay, yeah, do that. Why are they on this shuttlecraft thing? Why weren't they just there? It's where they were going anyway.
I'm sorry, were you expecting this to make sense?
I like the shuttle. They clearly have this idea that like, oh, warp is something that only like big ships with big engines could do. Then they just immediately retcon that. And of course they do, because this shouldn't make any fucking sense. And this would have worked perfectly fine if the shuttlecrafts could go warp speed. Because then it's like, oh, well, it's far away. It's out of the way for the Enterprise. You know, there's a big difference between going warp speed and going under the speed of light. And because, man, that's fucking slow. You know, it would take like a fucking like a month to get from like Mars to Earth. Like, where the fuck are they coming from? But whatever. This is nerd argument bullshit, and it gets retconned later anyway. So who fucking cares? And here's in my notes where I remember where what episode this was again. So. They show up to some ship. They have a distress call, and they're having real trouble communicating with him. You see, they've encountered a more simple folk out here in space. They're a little chubby. Their chins are a little weak. They're kind of large, and they don't talk so good. Jordy,
they talk like a bunch of like modern warfare, like the original, like well, actually no, my bad, they're not that racist. Never mind. Cut that out. It doesn't work. It's a bad analogy.
They say ship no go, ship no go, ship go bad, ship no go bad, and
yeah.
Jordy's like, I can go over there and reinstall Windows, and it'll be just fine. And
Jordy is such like a good dude. Like, he's like so happy. Like, he just comes up and he's just like, fuck yeah, I'll go fix their ship. Yeah, this is great. Like, this is cool. Yeah, like.
Yeah, he's that mechanic that's like happy to work on like simple car repairs. Like Jordy's such a good guy. He's like, yeah, I can go over there, I can get it done. Worf's like, do we have to send her a chief engineer? Couldn't we
Which is a valid point. Which is a very valid point.
Couldn't we just send a few hundred poor people over to the dangerous ship instead of this one valuable person? But and then I get all excited because like, oh, they confirmed they're not going warp speed. They confirmed that they're in a shuttlecraft. Why didn't the Enterprise literally take like 10 fucking seconds to warp them over there? And here we get a conversation. Picard reveals he has a fake heart. Whoa, crazy. Is that going to be a plot point in the future? I guess we'll have to see.
We'll find out. Probably not.
Oh, and part of me, people in the audience, assuming I don't just edit it out whenever it happens, but I still got a little cough going on here. So if you notice a little skip or just a little, that's wait, I don't know why I made that sound. That's what I sound like.
The black lung.
Yeah,
I got the lung, Pa.
I'm an 8-year-old and I'm working in a coal mine. It's America in 2023. Whoa.
No, worse. It's America in 20. Oh wait, no, you said 2023. My bad. I thought you said 19. I thought you said like 1923 for some reason.
Yeah, I already beat you to it. You gotta be pretty quick to get one over on me, Zaz.
No, that ain't gonna happen.
Gotta wake up.
This edible's just gonna keep on kicking in, so we better.
See, that's why I keep my brain clean. I'm fired on adrenaline after splitting wood for like 7 fucking hours. Like my mind is sharp. You have no idea how much I've been thinking about wood recently. Wait a second.
Well, I can have a guess.
So these people are like fucking koalas. Like they're portraying themselves as extremely stupid to like a level that the characters on the show don't understand. Like how they mastered space travel. But Troy like runs up to the bridge and it's just like, oh my god, Geordi he's in extreme danger. He's in extreme danger. Get him the fuck out of there. And for some reason they have a long conversation about it instead of immediately listening to the telepath and getting them. Why didn't they get them the fuck out of there immediately?
Because they don't even because
this is what you have her for.
They think that's because they think, well, one, they don't fucking respect her. Two, they,
this woman's having opinions again.
they think that they literally think it's like because once again, this is a very ableist like fucking thing where it's like they feel like those people that they encountered that needed help were so like not smart that they weren't even capable of having like legitimate emotions.
Yeah. Dangerous? What do you mean? What do you mean dangerous? Look how fucking stupid they are. How can they ever be dangerous?
Are children dangerous?
Yeah,
like what is this? The original series? Jesus.
Yeah. So they don't respect Troy, so they don't beam Geordi back. But hey, back over on board the USS Road Trip, Picard is stressing out about the surgery. There's apparently a 2.4% chance of death. Now, that's pretty high. That's pretty high for like a future surgery thing. You know what I mean? That's a pretty high one, right?
Yeah, for the future, sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the survival rate of a heart transplant in real life is, and this isn't a heart transplant. He has an artificial heart, and he's getting it like swapped out for a newer model, I guess.
Maybe they're just updating the firmware, and it's like the 2.4% is just like a chance to where like if the power goes out while they're installing it.
Yeah. They factor in every conceivable chance. Like, oh well, space is a lot of shit that's going on. What if there's an earthquake? What if the Borg show up and scoop up our city? Well, we have to factor that into the casualty rate. But he's way more bothered that the insides of his body are going to be the subject of Starfleet gossip. And I'm like, what does he have, like an internal tattoo or something?
Yep.
I mean, clearly he just doesn't want to show like weakness or whatever. But I prefer my explanation that he has some kind of like embarrassing tattoo on one of his organs, which is very futuristic space stuff.
Would you get a tattoo on your internal organs?
I don't have any.
Sure.
Tattoos.
Yeah. Why not?
Pure.
If I was able to, yeah. Why not?
You can get a tattoo on an organ. I bet that's not.
I'm sure
it's
not.
been
There was a surgeon that got in trouble for that. He was. He would autograph like.
Amazing.
The shit, like after he was done, he would write his initials on like somebody's on their organs.
Yeah, I think I heard about that actually.
Fix that heart and mark it with a B. That stands for Dr. Bradford.
That's exactly what he sounds like when none of the other nurses or anything are concerned. Like they're just like, yay!
Excellent work. Like they're looking down like Brad Pitt at the end of Inglourious Basterds. Like, oh, I think this is your best work yet, sir. This he has the name of his first crush tattooed on his lower intestine.
Oh, the French woman.
Yeah, the woman that he met like a few months ago,
Right.
who talks about him constantly to her husband that she's been with like 20 years, to the point where the husband, even when he's like halfway in like a different fucking dimension, is like, oh yeah, I know about you. My wife talks about you constantly when we're fucking. Picard,
You know?
Picard's got that fucking sloppy toppy. He can lay it down thick. Anyway, what? Speaking of, Wesley
That was a lot
says,
of words. I don't think they're in the Bible either.
What sloppy toppy is in the Bible. Wesley says that Picard would have made a good father. So it's a great segue here. It's like that may be you. That was an you moment for me.
And then he just returns. He's like, "Well, your mother already calls me daddy." And like,
I'm not
so
your
true,
daddy, but according to your mom, I'm your granddaddy. Picard literally like gets up and walks like into the back of the shuttlecraft and sits down somewhere else, and Wesley spins his chair around like, don't you wish
it's
you
literally
ever had
like
kids?
an RV. It's like the they're like they're in an RV, and like the guy got up, and like Picard gets up from the passenger seat, and then just goes and sits in the back seat.
and then the driver turns around and then goes, don't you wish you ever had kids?
The only way it could have
Picard
been
is
better,
like, never had the time. Just because I want them doesn't mean I had the chance.
the only way it could have been better is if Wesley spun the chair around and sat on it backwards. So why didn't you ever have kids? Put on a backwards cap too.
Why didn't you ever impregnate someone, Picard? Well, it's a long story. It's back on the ship. Geordi fixes the ship. The lights turn on. The dumbasses are like, "Oh, he's smart." They're like, "Yes, he really is smart." And then boom, they get possessive. They say, "We need you. You are smart." One of them grabs his sidearm and fucking shoots him in the stomach. It's like, whoa, very very sudden escalation. Like you get the impression, and this is intentional. You get the impression like these people couldn't fucking tie their shoe, and they just took Geordi's service weapon and shot him in the stomach with it.
Troy's just sitting on the ship, gesturing very strongly at the fucking screen. You see? I fucking told you.
The ship suddenly raises shields, and they're like, "Oh, it can't be a whim. They have some sort of super advanced Romulan shields." Like, whoa, what the fuck? Something's going on here. We're really cutting back and forth a lot. Picard offers Wesley a coffee and a sandwich. It's kind of a funny contrast. Geordi just gets shot in the stomach with his Glock, and then Picard's like, "Hey, Wesley, you want a sandwich?"
These are direct equivalents, because getting shot in the stomach is the same thing as having lunch with Will Wheaton.
You know, that's true.
Yeah, it's been like 12 hours and he late. Even Wesley was like, "Oh no, it's okay." Apparently, Wesley doesn't want to look weak, like needing food in front of Picard, to his daddy. When you see, listen, when you kill someone, you get their children. That's
Is that how that works?
Is that how it works?
yeah. So that's why he's his surrogate dad. And Picard doesn't want. Oh yeah, it works like that in the Witcher universe too, doesn't it? Oh well. Excuse. So we find out. So here's where we find out some interesting stuff about Picard. And Wesley's really, really probing him. Wesley's sets up two ferns so he can talk with Picard. He's got some hot wings there. He's giving Picard a stellar interview. Picard's never been married. He never had the time. Wesley says that he has complete control over the women in his life.
Yeah, it's like, Picard, I don't know, you haven't figured it out yet, but I'm fucking smashing puss.
Yeah,
it's like,
I had one conversation with a
calm down. You made out with
alien.
a fucking. You calm down. You made out with fucking space cryptids and like.
Oh yeah, they did.
Jesus,
They did
put it
actually
back.
kiss, didn't they? They fell in love, but she has to go take the throne, take the cryptid throne in her place in the SCP Foundation.
Yeah, that's true.
He tells the story about how his and then Picard's like, oh, I always struggle to keep control of the women in my life, and we find that out later when Q's like, I should have shown up as a woman if I knew you were this weak to the ladies. And you know what? That should have happened. That is what should that is what should have happened. Barclay should have been a woman, and Q should have been a woman. But oh well, this is Gene Roddenberry we're dealing with after all. Well, I guess he didn't make Barclay. Barclay came into existence like years after Gene Roddenberry coughed to death or whatever the fuck happened to him.
Barclay actually sprung from the earth, fully formed.
Oh, okay, I see. Yes, that makes sense. They laid Gene Roddenberry to death, and then just like crawling out of the earth, Barclay showed up, and they're like, "Well, we gotta put this guy on the show."
Clearly. We got it.
I feel like I just smoked a pack. He's telling the story of how he got his heart destroyed. So they're at like Far Base something. It had like a kind of weird name, and apparently it's, I don't know, some like neutral outpost that a bunch of aliens are on. He describes it like it's a fucking Wild West saloon, and Wesley's like, oh, is this before the Klingons joined the Federation? And I'm like, That's not a canon line. The Klingons did not join the Klingons didn't join the fucking Federation. That's not canon. It's not how this works. Picard talks shit. So Picard apparently talked shit and threw down. He fucking beat up 3 Nausicaans at the same time. He had one of them in an illegal chokehold, and then another one came up and stabbed him through the heart, attempting to quell Picard's rampage, saving everyone in the bar that day. But Picard's such a sick, wild freak that when he looked down, he saw the knife sticking through his chest. He didn't even feel it. It felt warm. It felt good even. He looked down and he started laughing. He laughed out loud. He says that. I laughed out loud. Here's a clip of him saying that. But so Picard offers Wesley another sandwich, and then Wesley accepts, trembling. His hands are shaking and his voice cracks. Like, yes, I'll take the sandwich. He knows Picard could kill him at any moment with his bare hands. So it turns out the Packlids. That's the simple aliens. They're called the Packlids. The Packlids are significantly more capable than is implied by their extremely limited linguistic skills. We find out
and I love Data warns at the beginning. Data's like, they might just talk differently than us, and everybody else is like, shut up.
They're like, they all do like the fucking the Squidward, or not the Squid, the SpongeBob like chicken beer. They're just like, oh, they really all just talk different. Shut up, dude.
Yeah.
Unplug. Bring Pulaski here. Have her unplug.
You
this
should get an
fucking
alien
toaster.
species that does that. You just say something to them, and they're just like,
That's just their normal cadence with everything.
No, they're just assholes.
Oh, that'd be tight too.
But yeah, like it's just they're just like ship. We get things to make our ship go, and
We want
then
ship go.
yeah, they're like, oh yeah, of course you want your ship to go, and it's because there's like a lot of like borderline who's on first like kind of setups, you know.
Vaudeville is alive and well in space.
And but once again, Geordi's on the fucking ship having just enjoying shit until he's getting
He's having a great time.
fucking zapped. But even then, like he's like sitting back there, he's still kind of like chuckling at shit, like when they're like when Worf and them are like 24. You're going to moonwalk, and they're just like when Geordi's like,
we find out that the Pakled wanted Geordi and only Geordi. Well, I don't know. It's unclear what their initial plan was. Maybe they were just like looking for something, hoping some ship would come along and fall for it, and then they take whatever they can get. And what they happened to get this time was a really smart engineer. But apparently they set up their ship in such a way that they like set up fake repairs for Geordi to go. Their ship was fully operational the whole time. And that's like, I don't know, that seems like a pretty advanced like engineering skill that you need to have in order to like trick another engineer into thinking they're fixing your ship.
Well, it's like this. Like the thing that pisses me off about it is once like Code of Honor, right, where they're just like, oh, we don't understand how their technology works, it's on par with ours, but it doesn't make any sense, right? And then like they try to like Riker and Worf try to pass this off, right, as just being like, well, that's not their technology, it's just they just stole it from other civilizations, and that's like they're so far behind that they have to steal, they're not allowed to have this technology. And it's like, yeah, doesn't that say a lot that that the species is like in no contact with like the Federation in a professional manner, but like they've managed to like splice together every single fucking racist shit into a working ship that's still fucking they're just fucking pirates.
Yeah,
that's
and they're pulling shit off people all the fucking time. It's like, this is fucking it's space, motherfucker. This is do as shall will be the letter of the law, and fucking will be the whole of the law, and they're ripping off Romulans, they're ripping off Klingons, now they're ripping you off. It's like these you're talking about these people like they're Neanderthals, that they're like proto, like pre-behaviorally modern humans. Like, can you imagine like some fucking cavemen like 100,000 years ago? They jack some shit off some aliens and go into space. It's like, I think they do deserve to be where they are. Like, oh, I'm sorry they didn't get to have NASA and capitalism and the Cold War and nuke themselves into oblivion. I'm sorry that they skipped their interstitial steps and became a spacefaring civilization that is apparently perfectly successful. No, they weren't ready to go into the stars. That's what they say all the fucking time. This species wasn't ready for space travel. They're too fucking stupid.
Meanwhile, they're robbing the fucking. Like, they're just like they're the best space pirates like ever. And,
yeah, like they're
just like they refuse to believe it.
Yeah,
Data and
I wish everyone did, which is like find advanced technology and steal it. Like if the Pakleds were in like Voyager's position, they would have got home sooner. They would have had the most like destructive warship the galaxy's ever seen. But no, because no, but that's less advanced of them to construct the horrifying warships based upon the hyper advanced technology of all these other species. Fuck you. fuck you, Data, or whoever the fuck.
Well, no, because Data and Troy were like the only two like voices of reason like on the fucking bridge. Like,
that's true.
And like everybody else was just being a fucking just
Yeah, Data is generally more curious than, and that's said like more times. Like he has much greater curiosity to a lot of the other people. That's it, and that leads to him like not taking shit for granted. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't make assumptions. He doesn't treat anything as insignificant. Like this is textual in a later episode called Tin Man, which is very good. And that's really cool of him. And he's ignored. and then he is just often ignored. But it's okay because he explodes in space, so we never get to see what he would have been like just on his own as like a captain or anything. But he's fucking dead. Well, so Picard.
Wow.
Back on the road trip, Picard talks about how Starfleet Academy is going to challenge you in ways you've never expected. Now let's like graciously assume that they've forgone like standardized testing, even though like. Well, no, actually, no. They imply that like it's grade based because they have people saying like, "Oh yeah, I was the top of my class." Well, the top of your class means that you got the best grades. They're still doing grades in the future. Oh my fucking god. But the Packlids, I'm getting whiplash because this show that switched back and forth between the A plot and B plot so much. The back on the Packlids are smart enough that they've created like fake problems. Talked about that, and they're acting all like super fucking sinister all of a sudden. Like I guess we find out that their plan was just to get Geordi as a hostage. It wasn't to just get Geordi, even though Geordi's a pretty good get. Even they realize that. They shoot Geordi again. They blast his ass against the wall, and he goes like, "We're smart. You do not think you're smart. We are smart." They're like, "Hey, what do you want him back? Do you want this little guy back?" They're holding like 15 guns to him. "You want Geordi back?" And Riker's like, "Yes, damn it!" And the lead Packland is like, "Good." Phenomenal line delivery. I love that line delivery so much. That was great. I just got so sinister so suddenly. Like that really pulled it off. So their actual demand is, we want all information from Enterprise computer. We want all information from your ship. And so now we're thinking like, wait, is this what the Romulans fell for? Is that they hostage someone and then for information on their ship? Like, I don't know how they stole stuff from the Romulans. I especially don't know how they stole stuff from the Klingons, because I don't think the Klingons would negotiate back like to giving away fucking technology for one of their engineers, but they sure as shit would have just blown them the fuck up right afterwards. So I don't know how that interaction worked, but
you find a nice ship to scavenge. That's the thing.
That seems more reasonable to me than what they've implied, that these guys are just like such great con men and they just institute hostage situations or just steal super advanced presumably like secret technology from all these different fucking species. But hey, whatever. And back on Picard, they reach the planet. We get a fun little scene where they're prepping for surgery, and they have like a sterile field that they activate in combination of their pure red surgery suits. And I guess the combination of those two things, which makes infections a thing of the past, which, yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's perfectly reasonable future technology, whatever. So the doctors are like, "Oh, this is going to be real fucking easy. Patients in good condition, good preliminaries will be on the golf course in half an hour." And then they reveal that so the Packlids, here's the actual reasoning for the Packlids, that they were unwilling to wait to develop the intellectual capacity in their species. And that's not how any of this works. That's not how that works. That's not how that works.
No.
Evolution is not a straight line, first of all.
Yep. Not at all.
It feels gross. It is gross. It has this extremely like awful assumption of it really feels like some like social Darwinist shit here. It's just a fundamental misunderstanding of like intelligence and the way that intelligence develops, and it's I don't know who wrote this fucking episode.
You gotta remember the '90s is like the time of the bell curve, right? And that's like really, I feel like people forget. People really forget that like in the '90s there was this big push of like essentially social Darwinist ideas re-entering the mainstream, and it affected like large swaths of society. And this is clearly just like more of that happening.
Yeah. It would have been. Oh god, that would have been so funny if Data had been like, well, if I would understand their species based upon psychometrics.
Yeah.
Oh no, Data,
we're gonna give an IQ test to this alien species. Like, yo.
Well, I can't measure their. Well, see, I have a capacitor program built into my circuitry. I can measure the intelligence of species and their development.
Oh god!
Their
So
futuristic
cursed.
lidar technology. I can measure their development. All right, I pulled up some. Okay, wait. Anyway, we guess, they revealed that. So yeah, the Packlands didn't have the patience to wait for their species to develop. Oh, whatever the fuck that means. And like. They've not only proven their fitness, they've proven their superiority many times. The Klingons fell for this shit. The Romulans fell for this shit. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking, and there doesn't seem to be any like hints on IMDb. But I don't know. Low bell curve aliens show up. Oh god. Oh, I dream of a world where this episode was named The Bell Curve.
Oh, that would have been so cursed.
And
it was already called the Samaritan Trap. Like that. Oh my god.
Yeah, it might as well be named fucking like the Tragedy of the Commons or something like that.
Like fucking hell.
Yeah, it's like oof, bud.
So they come up with, they need to rescue Geordi. So they're coming up with a plan, and they hail him, and they start talking about Geordi's knowledge of weapons. Like, oh, and then he implies that they're gonna have to kill Geordi. It's like, Geordi, you're going to have to be prepared to make the ultimate sacrifice. And Geordi's like, what? Wait, what? What the fuck is he talking about? Wait, no. Wait. And Geordi momentarily fears for his life before they're offering little hints as to what the plan is gonna be. Now this doesn't make any fucking sense to me, but hey, whatever. It's a very funny scene. Like he's just they're saying like numbers and stuff, and Jordy's playing along like, oh yeah, okay, no, I guess I am pretty good at numbers. 24, he said, and Worf's like, Geordi, you are off doing cowardice. You will never reach the 24th level of ascension. Like 24? Oh, that seems a little high, but I'll do my best. It's kind of a funny scene.
they just worked like all of their they just did improv. That was it. They all just took like an improv class together, and they were just like
they took an improv class from the guy from the Jerry Lewis stand-in on the holodeck.
What if it was Jerry Seinfeld?
Oh,
that'd be funny.
So typical surgeon behavior. They fuck up on something, and after they thought everything was going super well, and they're like, oh my god, Picard's dying. And then even after they shoot some lasers inside of him, they're like, oh my god, he's still dying. We need a molecular cardiobiologist, and we needed stats. And then one of them just runs out of the room, apparently trying to go find a molecular cardiobiologist.
They're just shaking people. Like, coming. Are you
What do you know about artificial hearts? What do you know about artificial hearts? What do you know about artificial hearts?
my God!
The guy stops. And like, there's got to be a faster way of doing this.
Nope.
PA systems are a thing of the past. They don't have pagers, none of that.
They don't have email and no cell phones. I mean, cut to so yeah, they cut back. Jordy gets phasered and blasted into a wall. It's fine. They cut back again, and Picard's like, "I'm not qualified to perform this very specific surgery." And then the younger doctor's like, "I know someone who is." And then back on the Enterprise, they get an emergency summon for Dr. Pulaski to get down there. So Sonia is the engineer that they're putting on charge of whatever plan this is. Apparently she wasn't executed after spilling coffee on Picard. And presumably they've instructed Geordi to sabotage their weapons in some sort of way. Geordi's playing along like, "Oh my God, they're trying to kill me, those bastards." And then the lead Packlet was like, and even the lead they're like, all right, we're gonna fire our weapons, and they start counting down from 24 seconds, and Dirt is like, "Oh my God, they're gonna kill me, I can't believe this," and the lead Packlet is like taking it back for a moment. He's like, "They are violent." But then they're happy because Geordi, he is on our side now.
Mm-hmm.
He is on our side now.
Oh yeah, because they're all actually chills. They're just chills. The YouTube channel.
We need to make the ship go. Can you help make our ship go? But hey, whatever. Now they're on their side. They're very happy. Enterprise. So then they count down, and the Enterprise shoots some red mist out, and the Packlet's weapons fails, and they're like, "Oh my God, they used their Crimson Force Field." The Packlet instantly give up and agree to get Geordi back, which I don't get it, but hey, whatever. I guess it was I guess the effect was supposed to be it was written to be way more impressive than it actually ended up being on the screen. We were meant to see that redness as being some sort of ruinously effective psychological weapon. It's like, holy shit, they spewed out some red shit from their engines. It is fucking over for us. Give them back Geordi, and we're gonna pray that we don't get fucking annihilated here. Okay, problem solved. I also don't get why Geordi would have figured this out. I don't know, maybe I'd have to go back and really fucking study all the cryptic messages that they were trying to hand Geordi over with, but whatever. So they're back on the planet, and they get Pulaski because she is a surgeon. She is a surgeon. They couldn't.
I see how you linked that in now. I get it. I'm learning.
They couldn't find a surgeon with autism, so they had to settle for Dr. Pulaski to get down there and save Picard.
Well, she's well known for being, one of the best.
She's the best because she's so empathetic.
She's the most empathetic.
Picard wakes up and the first thing he sees is Dr. Pulaski, and he just goes, "Oh, for fuck's sake."
You?
Oh God, it's you. Picard's back on the bridge. Everyone's clapping, and Picard's like, "Shut the fuck up!"
Just a real fucking dick this whole episode.
He's a real asshole. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
He's very self-conscious. It's actually very funny. I really like it. But hey, and closing line, it's like, "Oh, good thing Wesley's test scores have qualified him to remain on the Enterprise." Yay.
Yay.
Episode ends. So, Zots.
Yeah.
What did you think? What do you think of Samaritan Snare, a somewhat infamous episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation?
Yeah, I didn't like it. I was also very I was like, there's no way that do people make excuses? Are these like for this episode? Do the Pecklets come back at like a later time?
They are
Like,
mentioned.
are they worse?
Well,
like are they
they're
portrayed worse?
They're mentioned a couple times, but they never actually show back up in like the TNG era. The most specific mention that I can remember of them is that some Klingons were apparently illegally mining on some Pac-led controlled asteroids, and their defense was like, they didn't even know these resources are here. Who cares? So, and that's it. But they come back as a major, not just plot point, but a really major factor in what the fuck are they called? Lower Decks, in Lower Decks, and they're handled pretty well. They're still stupid, but like Lower Decks is an adult animated cartoon, so they're able to do it really well. And they flesh out the Pac-lids, and there's just like they show their whole society. It's really hard to explain, but it's done pretty well. It definitely doesn't feel nearly. There's no lines about like, oh, the Pac-lids, they're too biologically incapable to be able to do space stuff. There's nothing like that. It's just, they just show them, and they're just ridiculous. They just have like a ridiculous society. They basically act the same, but there's no like psychometrics thrown in there, so it feels better. So yeah,
feels less.
I don't know.
bad.
Fuck this episode. This episode fucking sucked. I don't even know if I think this episode is the episode that breaks the meme. Like, I don't know if I can rate this higher than Measure of a Man. Like, I don't even want to do it for the meme. I'm usually one that says good memes is good memes, but like
it has been a bit. I went on vacation. It's been a while. The memes have slowed down. So we'll find out in our rating. Brian, out of curiosity, how much of this episode did you actually remember going into it?
No, none.
Nothing at all.
I had cut it out of my memory.
So
Like
this wasn't on your
tumor.
radar at all. The
No.
Pac-Led thing. Wow, incredible!
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you got to see it again for the first time.
I remembered the character designs. That's it.
Okay, cool.
That's it. I just remembered what the Pac-lids looked like, but that's yep.
Sick. I remembered all of the Geordie parts, and I individually remembered like the Wesley road trip. I didn't. I just had that A and B plot totally separated in my mind. But hey, that's the Samaritans there. All right, Brian. Please rate this episode out of 5 pieces of alien technology wrongfully given to you, a simpleton from more deserving people that actually invented it. God damn it.
I think I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 1. It was just kind of a shit episode. like problematic stuff beside, that's like it was also just bad. It was just like a badly done episode. I don't like that it had like 2 plots that were an A and a B plot and that just didn't touch.
It really felt weird. Like even watching it, it was like not that bad, but going back over it in my notes and like remembering it, it's like, well, it's kind of weird just how drastic these shifts were. And of course, this is all made with like commercials in mind, so that's a whole other thing. But like, yeah, the whole vibe just really cuts back and forth pretty significantly, and and this is even one of those where the A and B plots like end up connecting back at the end, because like, oh, we have to rescue Geordie in time to get Pulaski back because she's the only surgeon. God damn it. Well, sorry, he didn't say he didn't say God damn it. He just goes I am a surgeon. Yeah. Well, Zots, please rate this episode out of 4. Let's give you a bigger range. Please rate this episode out of a planet of 20,000 doctors that are incapable of doing this medical procedure.
I rate this one doctor. I rate this. I rate
one
this.
out of 20,000.
I rate this. I rate this. That one doctor that ran out the door and just started shaking people down for their medical expertise.
A doctor runs out of a surgical amphitheater or whatever it's called. A theater? Is it just a theater?
Yeah.
And just starts shaking people, saying, "We need a doctor."
Yeah, you are one. We need a better one. It's just a fucking God, what the hell? Leslie Nielsen bit.
Yeah.
that's just it. It's just a Leslie Nielsen bit.
Very airplane style style missing plot here. All right, someone give me one.
Okay. Out of no, that's mean.
I got one.
Okay.
Out of 4 bridge officers giving you advice on how to deal with the new species you encountered, what do you give this episode?
You're all gonna hate me once again. Hot take Eric over here. I'm giving it a 3 out of 4. A 3 out of 4.
Jesus Christ!
That's awful.
Why? Why are you terrible?
I am such a sucker for fun writing that
What's fun?
I know. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me.
Let's try
explain.
canceled. Let's go. Yeah, no,
Let me
okay.
explain.
No, explain.
It's you know this is just like that fucking a 6-hour time travel loop one where I liked it literally because the only thing in my mind from that episode was Picard debating with his time travel duplicate, and the only part of this episode that's in my mind is the Packlet talking to Riker and Riker and the Packlet's going, "You want him back?" And Riker says, "Yes, damn it." And the Packlet just with a grin on his face just goes, "Good." So, all right, here we go. All right, the episode, giving it 2 different ratings. Episode
did you get that, Brian? I didn't get that. I don't understand that.
I saw that writing. See, I saw that writing, and I said, "Huh? It's okay."
So I'm giving that one scene a 3 out of 4, and I'm giving the episode as a whole a 1 out of 4 because it was really
bullying
annoying.
works,
and the B plot.
That's all I want to say. Is that it's good. By criticizing bad take, we've changed the take, and I appreciate that.
the B plot really sucks, and the A plot. I don't even know which one's the A plot, which one's the B plot. Because
I just love how you were so quick to rate a Wesley episode so high.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to take a more. I'm too much of a sucker for good moments that I'm calming down and taking a more holistic approach. This episode sucked. The B plot sucked, and even the A plot. I'm gonna say the B plot is the Picard and Wesley talking. It was fucking exhausting, and then the A plot took forever to get anywhere, and the conclusion didn't make any fucking sense at all. So it was really funny to see Geordi's sidearm gets taken from him, and him getting shot and just exploded against the wall. And I like a couple of the Packlet captain's line deliveries. But that's not enough to actually raise the score of this episode. Fuck! You know what? I'm getting more angry about this episode as I talk about it more. Fuck this shit. I just want to talk about this IMDb note. In this episode, Captain Grendelog, who is the mentally challenged and almost comically inept,
Jesus Christ!
He's apparently the same actor that was the hostile and combative Klingon captain in that one where Riker goes on their ship from a few episodes ago. Hey, you guys remember that? Y'all remember that one?
Yeah, dude, I remember that one. Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, hey, What else is there to say? That's Left Trek, folks.
That's Left Track. Skip this one. There you go.
Yeah, there's. I mean, it's not even worth it to like look. Even the scenes I'm talking about are not worth it out of context at all, and they're not. And honestly, and if I'm gonna be perfectly honest with myself, they weren't that good anyway. But hey, go back. Hey, what are you watching along with us? Skip this one. Well, watch Q Who. Go watch it again. That was a good one.
That was fun.
Really out of the fucking, I don't know, what's a good analogy for this? Real highs and lows once again for Left Track here.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, at least we're not doing 2 at a time anymore.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Well, see you all getting fights in the comments. How offensive is this episode to you? What exact? Please deliberate on the exact kind of ableism that was present in this episode at length, and then get in arguments with everyone else about that in the comments.
Also,
did you like this episode? Fuck you.
Yeah. Also, write a question in the comments, and we will do the comment. We will answer.
We should do that.
Everything.
Yeah,
we should. If we do it,
I
think we should do it at like the start of the episode. To be honest, like,
I'll do a little we should probably, but I'll do a little comment highlight here. We got a comment. We got a comment recently by someone that said Zotz will never make captain, and I pinned it. I don't remember which one that one was on, but I pinned it. It was very funny. Mm-hmm. like that one a lot. We got the cheat loyal supporter. The cheat said, "I like when Q said it's Borgen time."
That's good. That's good. That was nice. Clapping.
And then I replied like, oh yeah, and then he borged all over the place. That was my favorite part. He did sort of be going, it's Borgen time though. For real.
Yeah. For real.
Well, we're gonna all go. I don't know. Immolate. See you next week. Bye.